The holiday season is upon us. We've got the gift of the NFL as we're underway here in Week 16. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback.
Let's go now.
It'll be Sanders to begin the drive. And he'll manage to pick up about 4 at second down. 2nd and 6, just inside the 30.
19 Tiger.
Throwing from the gun, it's Hurts. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Watkins. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. 19 yards there on the catch and run.
Of course, the catch was nice, but how about what happened after? Able to stay on his feet and gain all that additional yardage. So many of these slot guys, I think, have running back in their background.
On 1st and 10, it's Sanders. And he maneuvers up the middle for 3, and it's 2nd down. The Eagles at 9-5 now on the year. And they were winners their last time out, so they'll be looking to make it 2 in a row.
And so much about football, partner, comes down to mindset. Being in the right frame of mind, and the best way to get in that good frame of mind, winning. So they come in feeling good. They've got the home crowd behind them. I think they're going to be tough to beat in this one.
Open man, that's Devontae Smith. And they're going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Giants' 36. They give them 14 yards that time and a fresh set of downs. Hurts a handoff to Sanders. And tough sledding. He'll get maybe a yard. Stop short of the 35. Well, these two teams, they met up way back in the season opener. And it was the Eagles who got the win on the road, so now they look to finish off the sweep here in Philly. 2nd down, back to Sanders. And not able to break away this time as they're going to stop him right around the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, so that doesn't help. Now they're looking up at a 3rd and 9 situation. They'll come to the line here needing 9 yards to pick up the first. From the gun, it's Hurts. He'll get this one complete. That's A.J. Brown. On 1st and 10, it's Hurts. It won't be a sack, but it's no gain, and it brings up 2nd down.
Brandon, I think he's just grateful to get back to the line of scrimmage and avoid not just losing yardage, but a big hit on that play as well. That defense closed on him quick and forced a quick surrender out of bounds.
Counting down toward the midway point in quarter 1. Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Hurts. Left side here to Sanders. And he's out of bounds. Almost gets to the 10. The Eagle passing game looking good on this drive. It's a first down. Shotgun snap and then the give to Sanders. And here he'll get it down to the 7. Call it a gain of 4 on 1st, and that'll make it 2nd down.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain, considering the blitz that they just had against them.
They'll run the jet sweep with Brown, and they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 9. Now they're staring at a 3rd and 8. That last play backwards a yard.
Well, as a wide out, when you take that handoff and you're coming around the edge, you're expecting to see nothing but empty space in front of you. But if not...
Well, things can go south in a hurry, and that's exactly what we saw on that play with a loss. On 3rd down, they turn to Sanders. And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line. Call it a gain of 4, and it'll bring up 4th down. He's hit pay dirt a lot this year, but not that time.
Yeah, I'm tracking right there with you. You're exactly right. He's found the end zone plenty of times. No way I can find any fault with the call. He may not have scored there, but of course you're going to give it to him.
So the long drive gets them down inside the 5, but ultimately they settle for just the field goal.
And I have to think that if maybe they were a yard closer, that would have made their decision tougher, and I think they likely would have gone for it. But in this situation, they just decided to take the 3, and I think it was a smart move.
And he will be brought down here inside the 20. Good coverage as he's dropped at the 17. Jones and the Giants now with a 1st and 10 at their own 17-yard line. They'll try and start this drive in the air. Open target here, Darius Slayton. Well, this defense for the Eagles, they were terrific a week ago in the win over Seattle.
And I'm eager to see the game plan and trying to attack them this week, because when you take it away 4 times through interceptions, what do you do now when you go into a game? Do you decide you can't throw the ball? Do you try and run it more? Or do you tell your quarterback, make sure you see your guys open before you deliver?
On 2nd and inches, Jones out to his left, and he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Credit that sack to Robert Quinn. After that sack, 3rd and long, tough spot for Jones and the Giants. Now Jones. And it's intercepted. And the Eagles are going to take possession of the football. And I saw the pressure coming at him. That just looked problematic. Hit him as he threw it, and the interception ensued.
Let me pay homage to the man who stood in this spot before. He always talked about how much pressure is in the face of a guy, and can he step into a throw. And when you can't do that, oftentimes interceptions result.
And he's going to be brought down on what will be the final play of this first quarter. 3-0 after 1 on EA Sports. Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. Hurts sets up to throw it. It's caught, Smith. And they're going to get this down inside the 15.
It's a game of matchups, and that's why you take your receivers and move them around a bunch, especially your best guys. And when they work out of the slot, you often hear the coaches talk about how great it is because it gives you a two-way go. You can break out or you can break in. That makes it hard to defend.
And he'll take it into the end zone for an Eagles touchdown. Well, that is a running back who is not about to go down easily. He fought his way through the contact until the C's opened up for him.
And that, in a nutshell, shows you what this guy is made of. I mean, most guys in the NFL just can't do that. He absorbed the contact, refocused himself, and made a break for the end zone.
And the next-gen stats shows us the tale of how much yardage he was able to pick up after the initial contact. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. Well, Charles, it's kind of gut check time. Look, I know it's early, first quarter, just their second drive of the game, but they've already thrown the interception, given up the score. You're down double digits. They got to figure out something, and pretty quickly here.
No doubt about it. And when we look at that sideline, I'm sure you're observing the same thing I am. I don't like the body language at all. They look like they're in a state of stunned disbelief. So to me, we always talk about someone stepping up and making a big play. I think it would behoove them if multiple guys step up and make big plays right now. They need something positive to happen.
Trying to get it to Robinson, and it's intercepted. Darius Slay with a pick. And the Eagles are going to take possession of the football.
Well, those have been a problem for them all season, but never quite as much as they have in these last few minutes. Let's count it up now. A pair of picks on his team's last 2 drives and double-digit interceptions this season. I don't care if you're the best in the game or an undrafted rookie. You've got to take better care of the football or you're going to cost your team chances.
And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. 17 yards and a first down for Philly. Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit unsettled. I think that's why he came right out throwing the football, hoping to catch him off balance.
And he did. Sanders here as they run out of the gun. They get him to the ground right on the cusp of the red zone after a pickup of 5 or 6. So they cite the right guard this time with a holding penalty.
And so many different assignments you can have at that position, and sometimes you might just be a step too late and have to grab and hold on.
And he works it to the 30-yard line here, right at the 30. Still 15 yards to go, second down. Hurts. Rolling to his right. And he'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. 14 yards there on the pickup, and that'll bring up what looks to be a 3rd and inches. Can't be more than a half a foot.
Partner was a definite passing down, but he was able to leak out and pick up some good yardage, even though the coverage was excellent. Maybe it's not exactly how they drew it up, but he still got a big chunk of yardage on second down.
They'll try and run for it with Sanders, and he takes it down to the 13 and picks up the first. 3 yards there, good enough to keep the drive moving. This offense, number 1 in the NFL in picking up first downs, and their run game got him another one there.
A really good stat to lead the league in, isn't it? Because if you keep picking up first downs, sustaining drives, that means you're controlling the football, controlling the clock, and letting your defense rest on the sidelines.
42 yards rushing for him now in the ball game.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
Not enough there for a first. No gain, as a matter of fact. And it leaves them at 3rd and 1. Now keep in mind, if you're thinking of staying on the ground, this is a top 5 rush defense. Yeah,
but I don't think you shy away totally with the run. At least show them the hint of a run before you decide to throw the football.
On 3rd down, they'll run it with Sanders. And he will not only not get the yard he needed, he goes the wrong direction. The defense stiffens to force 4th down following that first down gain of 8.
Just a simple run play there on 3rd and 1, but this D was up to the challenge and stopped them, bringing up 4th down.
So Hurts is off, and on comes Jake Elliott for the Eagle field goal. From the left hash, a chip shot here. The kick by Elliott is good, and that will extend their lead even further. They already had the early lead, and they get the interception, Charles, and now they add 3 more with the field goal.
Yeah, they're in control of how this game is playing out so far. You mentioned the early lead. Now they're expanding on it, getting plays on both sides of the ball. A winning recipe if they can keep this up.
The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. And it's been a miserable start for them offensively. Obviously, 2 drives, 2 interceptions.
And this is where you have to know your quarterback and know how you actually have to reach him. Do you do it with a little bit of humor? Maybe you break the ice a little bit like, hey, didn't we practice in that color jersey all week? Not the one that you're throwing it to? Or maybe you have to be stern with him. But whatever it's going to take to get the message, it has to be done. He's putting the game in jeopardy.
To throw again on 2nd down. Jones. He's got the hook up to Odell Beckham. And they work this well upfield across the 45. That one good for 26 and a first down.
Thus far, it hasn't been a real fun half for them, but a play like that may get them off the schneid a little bit, get them loosened up and moving.
Kind of seems like they've been sleepwalking and still sitting on 0 points.
And it's not always making an adjustment. Sometimes it's just going back to what you know can work and finally getting it done.
Now a throw to the end zone on first down, but it winds up incomplete.
I believe I'm following their logic. Take the big shot downfield, loosen things up. You're hoping to get some points on the board before the half. Maybe now you come back and throw some underneath stuff in order to make sure you get a completion.
To throw again on second down. Jones. This one goes out wide for Barkley. And they'll get him down on the other side of midfield.
That might feel like a little bit of a lost opportunity there for the offense because the defense brought pressure that time. And sometimes against that, you can get out to your running back, and it could turn into a big gain downfield. But what a nice job they did getting to him quickly and holding him to a short gain.
Jones has just thrown his third interception. And the Eagles will take over here as they get it up to the 43-yard line. Well, I'm not sure that the wheels, Charles, are coming completely off, but they're shaking a little bit. That's 3 interceptions, and now interceptions here on back-to-back drives.
And I think about what a Hall of Fame coach told me, that he always told his teams, when a mistake happens, just move on to the next play. Let it go. Hard to do when you're throwing this many interceptions. That's exactly the attitude that has to be adopted.
Well, prior to that, he had hit his first 6 passes to start the game, so on a nice little run to begin.
It feels like this offense has carried its dress rehearsal into the game. You know, because you do practice it, you do go through it, and in this case, it is clicking exactly like they drew it up.
The Eagles going to take the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 33 seconds to go in the first half.
Here we go.
On first down, Hurts. And that is incomplete. Well, the coverage a little too good there, and it's second down.
It's another zone defense. It looks like it's open for possibilities, but they did a nice job patrolling the middle of the field and forcing an incompletion.
It's a second down run with Sanders. He'll get only 3 there, so it leaves him with a 3rd and 7 ahead. Now another timeout called for by the offense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. Throwing is Hurts. Throw left side complete. That's Sanders. And he gets us down inside the 35 before going out of bounds. 10 yards there and an Eagle first down.
And I like the idea here. Get the ball in his hands, even if it's in the passing game. 3 catches a week ago, and he does a nice job here to pick up yardage.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Here's Hurts to throw. And this is caught by Watkins. And he'll be marked down right at the 20-yard line. And now we'll get a late timeout as it comes in the waning moments of quarter number 2. Now with 5 seconds left, not really enough time to run another play and then stop it. So on comes the field goal unit. The kick by Elliott is good, and that will extend their lead even further. So the turnover leads to points as they add 3 there.
Yeah, what a sequence there, and a nice one for them. They force the interception, put together a little drive, and then come away with 3 points. Nothing to it, partner. Just do it.
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. 1 second, all that remains. Oh, he's got some breathing room. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. So we're at halftime here on Christmas Eve as we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. And we welcome you back live now inside the booth alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin, set and ready to rock for the 3rd quarter. The Giants set to get the football, and they trail here as we get back underway in the second half. Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive.
In the first half, they struggled a little bit to keep pace offensively, CD, down 2 scores here. So how do they make some changes coming out of the locker room?
Well, they've studied what they did in the first half. They've seen what the defense has thrown at them. Now they want to have a plan of attack against it. So you come out, you're not going to get all the points back on one drive, but get started on it. Start chopping into that lead, and maybe it'll inspire your defense to help out as well.
On 2nd and 9, Jones. That ball caught by Slayton. And they work this well upfield across the 45. 22 yards there, a first down. Jones fakes the give to Barkley. He'll let it go deep for Beckham. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. And the Eagles are going to take possession of the football.
That has to be a little bit discouraging because after all their halftime talk, adjustments and points of emphasis, their first drive ends with an interception. Absolutely aggravating if you're a head coach because you spent all that time, gone through every situation possible, and it still ends in a turnover.
Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete.
That incompletion certainly slows things down a little bit and brings up a very important call for 2nd and long. What do? Run and try and get some yardage and make it 3rd and manageable? Or challenge the coverage again, hoping for a bigger gain?
Off the play fake, here's Hurts. And his throw here is incomplete.
Tough series for the passing game. Things just aren't clicking. Hopefully they can come through on this play and get this series back on track with a completion for enough yardage for a first down.
Up the middle they go with Sanders. And he's going to be taken down at the 39, clearly short of the first by a few yards. It's a gain of 5 on the play, and it'll bring up a 4th down.
That was a really nice job by them picking up the run blitz and detecting it and blocking it and turning it into a nice run. And a lot of times you think if you blitz a running play, you're going to smother it. But a lot of the blitzers, they come in a little bit high. They don't have great leverage, and they're easily blocked and turned to the side.
They're going on 4th down with Hurts. And this is caught. That's Watkins. And he is going to have an Eagles first down as they manage to convert. And that'll keep the drive alive. Defensively, a bit of a collapse, allowing the 4th down play to result in 23 yards. A give running left. It's Sanders. And he's able to get this inside the 10 now to the 9. 2nd and 3 from the 9. Another run with Sanders. And he pushes forward from maybe 3 down to the 6-yard line.
If you're looking for glory, looking to get your name in the headlines, you do not want to play nose tackle. But how about what we just saw there? The ability to hold people up, take on extra blocks, and actually slip them and make a tackle on that play. That's big time.
They'll run with Sanders up the middle. And he won't have the touchdown, but he will have the first down as he's tackled at the 2. Sanders will take this one in for an Eagles touchdown. So they're able to capitalize there on the short field, and that might prove to be the score that turns out the lights.
The party's over. Oh, sorry about that. That's an old reference there, folks. But, yeah, they've been the better of the two teams by far, and that's great complementary football right there. Defense gets the turnover, sets up the short field, and the offense goes right out and scores to open up a pretty sizable lead.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. Throwing Jones. This one is Slayton over the middle. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. Nothing in that first half, nothing on the last drive, but they're moving now with a 1st and 10. Looking to throw. Jones. Once again, he finds Slayton. And he's brought down inside the 20 at the 18-yard line. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. Eluding the pressure right. To the goal line, but it's incomplete.
His impatience has to be bubbling over, trying to find a way to get his team to the end zone for the first time. He did find a way to break, contain, and get outside to buy his receivers a little extra time, but the connection couldn't be made on that throw.
To throw on 2nd and 10. Jones toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
You get the sense that they're saying we're not playing up to what we're capable of, and we're deep enough into the game that the early jitters are long gone, that they should now have some sense of continuity and be able to make some of these plays that they have not been doing so far.
And he'll be taken down, but he does have 1st down yardage. A nice pickup of 17 yards. Jones will sneak it, and he'll get in. He's over for the touchdown. The sneak successful from a yard out, and the Giants are able to make some inroads here to that deficit. So that, Charles, their first score of the ball game, obviously, coming here in the 3rd quarter. Is that going to be enough to energize the troops?
It's a great question, and we'll wait to see the answer, but it's finally something for them to build on. Now they know that they can actually score against that defense.
Extra point try good by Gano. And the lead's down to 2 scores now at 16. Boston Scott on the return from his end zone. And a nice job there on special teams to limit him to inside the 15 as he's dropped at the 14. Already at the line, this Philly offense set to go. Their lead down to 2 scores after the touchdown a moment ago as they start with a 1st and 10. And he'll lose yardage on this one back to the 13. They'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
And that's exactly what you're looking for at the inside linebacker spot. Versatility. He can drop into coverage, or as he did on that last play, use his speed to get to the perimeter and knock the ball carrier for a loss.
And he takes us across the 15 to the 17. 4 yards on the pickup there as they get it back to a more manageable 3rd and 7.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
Here comes the blitz as they look to throw. And this pass broken up. Excellent coverage there on 3rd down as that was not an easy one to hold on to. The Eagles send out their punter now. And the way this offense has moved the ball, he hasn't been needed till here in the 3rd. Taking it about the 36. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. And that'll be a return of 12 following a very nice punt. And it'll be Giant football 1st and 10. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. A strong showing their last time out. They scored the touchdown, but Charles, they look up and they're still down double digits, so you feel like just to keep pace, this drive probably needs to end in the end zone as well.
Yeah, and I think the best move for them is to not worry about how far they are down on the scoreboard, but to just remember the last drive and how it ended. Go ahead and try and repeat that. Then you can look at the scoreboard and see where this game is.
And my goodness, another interception. Picked off by Avonte Maddox. And the Eagles are going to get the football back as time will run out in this 3rd quarter of play. 1 quarter remains here in Week 16. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Now a carry for Sanders. And he gets stopped up at the 31 after a gain of maybe a yard. Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the fourth quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it, and the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the football.
Second down, back to Sanders. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. This will be a loss of 3, and now a much tougher third down looming.
Not an easy spot here. They'll be in search of 13 yards to try to pick up the first.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And intercepted. Maybe the turning point they need. Picked off by Xavier McKinney. And the Giants are right back in this football game. Now with that interception, you feel like we've got a ball game again. Remember, 2-score contest and still time left here in the fourth.
And in the old days, not too long gone either, throwing the ball here would have been an absolute no-no. But the way the game's played now, throwing it makes sense. You just have to be careful when you put it in the air.
Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete.
Well, we've talked about it, CD, but it bears repeating. They are struggling to throw the football. All the interceptions and more incompletions. It just doesn't look like things are in sync out there.
I would agree with that, and it's not a good day when you feel like an incomplete pass.
And now here's another interception. And the Eagles are going to get the football here as he gets this up past the 20-yard line. He's at it again, Charles. He had the pick 6 last week. Not a pick 6 here, but an interception.
Hey, it's another Oski, because that's the word we use when we intercept a pass. Oski tells your team to rally around and block for you. Well, that worked really well last week because he had made it all the way to the end zone. This week, he got the Oski, maybe not a touchdown, but boy, he's playing really well.
Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
Well, sometimes an incompletion is the right play, and he showed that he's learned from his earlier interception on that throw. Instead of forcing it, he just tossed it away.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. They'll run. It's Sanders. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. And this offense on 3rd down today, not quite 50%, 4 for 9. This is 3rd down and 12. Throwing from the gun, it's Hurts. He finds his man, complete. It's Watkins. Finding space at the 40. Down the left sideline. And he is finally forced out of bounds inside the 30-yard line. A big play there on the catch and run. 52 yards.
Well, normally you might say start running the football. You've got the lead here in the fourth quarter, but the way that they've passed it with such success, I don't know, maybe keep throwing it.
Yeah, I think you brought up something that goes against conventional wisdom, right? In this stage of the game, you would think you would switch to a running attack, but you're exactly right. They've thrown it so well throughout the game, and trusting this quarterback, I think you continue to do so.
Now on 1st down, Sanders not finding a whole lot as he'll get forward for about 3. I'm sure that that's going to be the formula. Just keep the ball on the ground. Keep that clock moving.
And when you have the lead this late in the game, above all, stay in bounds. Yes, take care of the football. Yes, gain yardage, but stay in bounds and let that clock tick.
From the 27, Hurts. And this throw incomplete. Now the defender all over him that time, but it's going to lead to 3rd down.
Well, that one was all about the defender making life difficult for the receiver. Very tough for a guy to hold on to the football through all that contact. He ends up forcing the incompletion.
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw.
That's swung out wide to Sanders.
And he's just going to be short here, barely. Maybe by a half a foot. It'll be 4th and inches.
How about that strategy there, Brandon? 3rd down, they just said, we've got faith in our tacklers. We'll give you the short stuff, and just decided to protect the sticks. So every time I hear fans telling me tackling's not a part of the game anymore, plays like that, I can clip and save and show them you have to tackle well if you want to be a good defense.
And the gadget play here on 4th down winds up backfiring. And the Giants are going to get the football back. Jones and the Giants now with a 1st and 10 at their own 22. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive.
Jones in trouble here, and down he goes.
Work to be done here on 2nd and 16 after the sack. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. Gonna let one fly for Robinson. And that's gonna be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down.
When you're leading in the final quarter, your radar has to be up for any potential deep shots. And probably not the last one they're going to see in this game, not as long as they hold this lead.
Now Jones throwing on 3rd and long. And my goodness, another interception.
Picked up by Josh Jobe. And the Eagles are going to take possession of the football. And they'll take possession already in the red zone and in a great spot to add points to the scoreboard.
And Brandon, how many times have we seen a defense with a lot of field behind them get even more aggressive, right? They feel like they've got them not pinned down, but in a favorable spot for them, and they took advantage of it there. Got a nice interception and set up their offense in great shape.
And they're going to be set up now with the ball at the 13-yard line.
That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6. You need your wide receivers as blockers. Sometimes they get a hold.
The big runs are often a result of what they do on the perimeter. In this case, got caught holding, and this one will come back.
On 2nd down, here's the option.
This will be a 5-yard pickup as they move it from the 20 to the 15.
They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks. An option handoff given to Sanders.
And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. Down under 2 minutes to go in this football game. A good chance now to put this game on ice. This is 1st and goal. They'll run with Sanders. And the hole closes quickly here. He can fight only to about the 4. Only a yard that time. 2nd and goal.
This is where coaches have to have spent a lot of time going over situations with their players, because him getting tackled there is not the worst thing in the world. You're going to run more plays, right? Clock's going to go. But his thought process is getting into the end zone. It's counterintuitive for him to actually go down in this spot.
Yeah, but like you say, you don't want to get in the end zone too early here.
No, not at all, because you may leave an opening that can come back and get you.
And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. Only able to get back a yard for his efforts, and that leads us to 4th down. The Giants going to go ahead and use the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Going for it with Sanders. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Miles Sanders, his 3rd touchdown of the game, number 16 on the season. And the Eagles are looking to make it 2 straight as they add on to this 4th. Oh, and now they're going to fake it. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down.
I know they're not asking me, but I'll give you my opinion anyway. I think it's time to erase that play from the call sheet. I guess they figure with the big lead they can experiment a little bit. But all in all, just go ahead and put that play on ice.
And he elects not to bring this one out as his guys will take over at the 25. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive.
Where we stand right now in the 4th quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again.
Jones on first down to Barkley on the check down. The Eagles will take their third and final timeout. And as the two teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break.
From the 39-yard line, here comes second down at 6.
Now Jones. And now here is another interception. Picked off by Avonte Maddox. And the Eagles are going to take possession of the football. All smiles and high fives on that defensive sideline. That interception will cap off what was truly a tremendous performance.
Yeah, if you can hold a team to 7 points in the NFL, that's the kind of day that you feel really good about. Now, I do know a few guys are going to think to themselves, held them to 7. If we'd made one more play, could have had our shutout.
Now it looks like he'll throw here. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
I think it's fairly safe to call this game over, but they're still trying to bomb it downfield and add to their lead. Almost makes you start to feel for the defense and root for them a little bit, too.
Looking here for Smith downfield. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long way out there, but it'll be third down.
Well, fourth quarter with a 3-score lead here, Charles, but they're still going back to the air and looking for more points.
Well, with this game well in hand, it's an opportunity for the guys to come off the bench and get a chance to play. And a lot of coaches, they want to run their full playbook no matter who's on the field.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions.
They go play action with Hurts. Oh, this will be incomplete. The rush gets home just as he was letting that go. That could have been worse. Instead, it's 4th down. Well, they're up comfortably here, Charles, but that lead certainly not dissuading them from pressing the envelope late. I mean, if anything, with these passes, it's like they're getting more aggressive to try to drive the ball downfield.
And that will certainly lend itself to some post-game questions for that coach, and maybe you and I should attend that press conference and see what he has to say, because someone's going to ask him why he continued to push it. My guess, he didn't like how some of the snaps were run earlier, and he wanted to use that as a chance to clean things up, but he certainly will have some explaining to do.
So it's a victory here for the Philadelphia Eagles. And I tell you what, I can't remember a defensive performance as good as this one. They seemingly forced turnover after turnover after turnover every time you turned around.
Yeah, you can just keep going with it, can't you? After turnover, after turnover.
Hello, new world, all the boys and girls. I got